Hello. Hello, dear student. Please confirm whether my voice is audible or not. Before starting, dear student, please confirm whether my voice is audible or not. Hello. Hello, dear student. Please confirm whether my voice is audible or not. Yes. Yes, dear student. Everything is okay. Like my voice is audible, so everything is okay. So we'll start. So first of all, very good morning to all my dear student and hope you all are doing well and भगवान करे आप सब अच्छे रहो, अच्छे से पढ़ाई करो, ठीक है. So today we are going to see about 28th July infographics editions, ठीक है. So here we are going to see about the analysis of the Hindu and first important question, how you can get this PDF. You can simply scan this QR code to download our Android application. In there is a premium infographics edition. You can get by using that. And those who are using iOS and iPad device, you can download the Class Plus application, and there you can use the org code as PKRMEJ to get it. And you can also scan this QR code to join our Telegram. There also I'm providing lot of information regarding MCQ question for your prelims, mains, question answer, all the current affair that is happening in regular basis. We are providing here also. चलिए, and you can also scan this QR code to join our PYQ free of cost and NCERT test free of cost already in our application. So first important news is 8 killed in stampede at temple in Haridwar. So recently 8 people is killed in the stampede. So recently in India we have seen so many stampede that is being happened and so many people are killed in that stampede. So you can see I'm just giving you a list of that. So there is a stampede that is happening in the Hatara, where there is a events conducted by the Bhole Baba. So because of that, so many people are died. Next, during Kumbh Mela recently in Bangalore, after their victory parade of the RCB, then recently Rath Yatra in Puri, Jagannath, there is also a stampede, and now the Haridwar there is a stampede. So this is a clear indication that in India we have huge amount of population. So any tourist place, any places can be prone to stampede. But the authority and the management, they are not yet ready. They are not yet prepared to deal with such kind of problems. So this is a clear indication that we need to have systematic organization, plan, systematic SOP, and other things to ensure that there should not be any stampede. So this is very much important for your disaster management. It's a man-made disaster. So I think they can ask a question in your mains. What you can also write down what are the reason for rising stampede? What are the reason for rising stampede, or what are the reason of increasing stampede in different places, and what kind of steps you will suggest to tackle the stampede? There can be a good question in your case study also. It can be a very good question. Let's say you are the DM of a particular district, and in that district there is going to be a, events, let's say religious events or political events that is going to conduct, and in that events, so lots of people are going to visit, and in past there is a history of stampede occurring in that place. So being a DM, what kind of steps, like being DM, how you identify what are the reason for occurrence of the stampedes, and how you are going to arrange everything to prevent the stampede, and what kind of ethical action you will take while controlling the stampedes. At the same time, you need to help people in a people, some if someone is visiting to a temple, so we need to treat them very carefully or very sympathetic way. So you have to deal with ethical as well as legal aspect. So this kind of question can ask in your case study as well. So next is our Prime Minister said that Chola dynasty legacy provides roadmap for modern India. Okay, so paying glowing tributes to the military mights and administrative acumen of the Rajendra Chola and his father, his father or Rajendra Chola. Prime Minister Modi on Sunday said that the height reached by the emperor were a source of inspiration, providing an ancient roadmap of India to the developed nation. So we know that the Chola Empire, they are very much powerful empire in the South India. So they have captured the Sri Lanka, Maldives, and this the Bay of Bengal is called Chola Lake at that time. I think they've captured the Sri Lanka, Maldives. So they have also sent missionary to the Southeast Asia, and this lake, Bay of Bengal, is called Chola Lake. So most powerful among them is Rajendra Chola. So it's called as Imperial Chola, and his father name is Raja Chola. Okay? So economic and strategic advantages during the Chola era remain source of inspiration for modern India. Yes, this is a source of inspiration because the Chola was quite powerful in navy. So in current time, if we want to be a superpower, if we want to protect our interest in Indian Ocean, we need to be a super navy so that we can control the Indian Ocean, so that we should not let any other country, be that China, USA, they should not indulge in activity that is harmful for our national interest. So to become a developed nation, we must prioritize unity, strengthen our navy and defense forces, look forward new opportunity while safeguarding our core values. So the Adi Thiruba Thiruvathirai Adi Thiruvathirai. So you can just remember this name, Adi Thiruvathirai festivals. So this is mark the birth anniversary of Rajendra Chola. Okay? So the honor of Rajendra Chola, the king had built Gangaikonda Cholapuram. So this this name Gangaikonda Cholapuram. It's a particular. It's three names. So Gangaikonda Cholapuram, ancient capital of Imperial Chola, along with Brihadeshwara Temple. Okay, and Cholapuram was a massive lake after the victory expeditions to the Gangetic Plain 100 years ago. So Gangaikonda Cholapuram is a city. Gangaikonda Cholapuram is also a lake that is being constructed during Rajendra Chola. When Rajendra Chola want to have some water from the Ganga, but the then king is not permitted. So that is the reason Rajendra Chola have a war with the king in that time, and because of that, defeated the king in the northern plain. So from there he got the name Gangaikonda Cholapuram. Okay, Gangaikonda Cholapuram, and on that name he's also established a city and constructed a lake. Okay, so the history of Chola is very important for your examination. So there can be multiple question also. So the legacy of Rajendra Chola and the legacy of Raja Chola and Rajendra Chola, though synonymous with the India's identity and pride. The history and heritage of the Chola Empire proclaim true potential of India. So yes, during the Chola time, it is the Bay of Bengal is called as the Chola Lake because they have dominating everything they in the Indian Ocean. So Raja Chola built a powerful navy. His son Rajendra Chola strengthened it, and Chola strengthened local administration. So during Chola time, so we have a reference of local self government. The local self government, they are very powerful local self government. So they have taken the decision. They are like from there we have the inspiration for present Panchayat Raj system. The Chola strengthened local administration and established extensive trade and cultural link. The Chola ruler extend their diplomatic and trade relations to the Sri Lanka, Maldives, and Southeast Asia. So, the decisive response India to accord the highest priority to the national security, adding that during Operation Sindoor, world witnessed firm and decisive response to the country. So, dear, it is your homework. You have to study about the Chola Empire and different king of the Chola Empire and their achievements. So you have to note them down. Okay. चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं. So next is the India bloc, that is the opposition bloc, want the special intensive revision drive stopped. Say it has become a tool of established citizen. ठीक है. So the India's National Development and Inclusive Alliance, that is the opposition led alliance against the NDA, on Sunday, urging the election commissions to refrain from the institutional arrogance and stop special intensive revision of the electoral roll in Bihar, saying it has uh, effectively become a process of establishing citizen. So the basic objective of electoral revision is to revision the electoral roll so that it need to eliminate those who have ineligible voter and include those who are eligible voter. But now instead of focusing what opposition are saying, instead of focusing on that, it is a tool of identifying the citizenship. So there is a very good article today also, so we are going to see it. So next, 91.69 voters submitted for form for the special intensive drive. So election commission clearly stated that around 91.69% of voter have been already registered. That means there will be missing of 65 lakh voter. Out of the 65 lakh, 22 lakh 7 deceased, 36 lakh permanently shifted, not found, and 70 lakh enrolled multiple places. So this is what said by the Election Commission of India. Okay. So next is Manipur town get a silver of hope from Manipur. So from Myanmar children. So recently we have seen there is a military rule that is being going on in the Myanmar. So due to that, so many Manipur family they have shifted. So many Myanmar family or the you can say migrant from the you can say the they are taking shelter in the Manipur. Okay, so border town in the ethnic conflict scarred Manipur is seeing felt revival activity by few educational seeking children from the civil war affected Myanmar. That means people are shifting from Myanmar to the Manipur. So and you know the people those who are in the Manipur, they are providing shelter, child education in the Manipur. So just read it, you will understand. So next important is Maharashtra halt the Ladki Bahini ad for 26.34 million beneficiaries. So Maharashtra government recently stopped this beneficiary scheme on the allegations that there are so many bogus beneficiaries, they are getting this benefits. Okay, so and after they will identify, they will continue it. So next is respect the sentiment. Stalin press for a release of fund as Prime Minister arrive in the Tamil Nadu. So demand raised by the Tamil Nadu government in a memorandum handed over to the Modi ji. So during official visit to the state, demand Samagra Shiksha Fund south without center insisting on signing of the MOU on the PMC. So this is what a clear indication of conflict in our federalism. So India being a cooperative federalism, we need to have ensure that coordination between center and state in proper functioning. So under the Samagra Shiksha scheme, ensuring that safety of Tamil Nadu fishermen and implementation of railway project and allotment of land for defense industrial corridor were among the demand that Tamil Nadu government raise memorandum to the Prime Minister. So these are few demand that is being put forth by the Tamil Nadu government. So this is very much important for your mains because it is clearly written federal dispute, federalism, what are the challenges arising out of it. So you can talk about releasing of fund. Okay. So the Stalin requested immediate release of 2000 fund, 2000 2151 crore under the Samagra Shiksha for 2024-25 and first tranches for this year. So the CM has requested release of fund without center insisting of state signing MOU on PM3. So government, central government says that we will release fund if you sign, MOU sign on implementation of PM3. So this PM3 is basically aims to improve the school infrastructure. So Tamil Nadu government want fund without signing this PM3 MOU. So this is a clear indication of how in our federal structure. So there is a conflict going on between center and state. We know that our federal more fund is collected by the central government, but more responsibility with the state government. So fund will flow from the central to state government. In case of politicization, in case of blockage of that fund from the center to state, or politics at the state level can impact the welfare of the people. So next important news is Delhi government moved to amend the labor law will have trip lakhs of workers for their right, they say. So recently Delhi government want to reform in the labor law. So the trade union leader expert have criticized the Delhi government move to amend at least two labor law as part of ease of doing business. So all the state government recently they are trying to amend the labor law so that making it easy for hire and fire the labor, because industry they are very often complaining that the labor law in India very complex and it is very difficult to comply that labor law, and to ensure ease compliance and to attract investment, so state are reforming their labor law. So there is a law called Delhi Soft and Establishment Act to establishment within 10 or more employee. Currently act which includes several safeguards for employees such as leaves, weekly holidays and monthly notice for dismiss applicable even establishment with one employee. So now under this act, so you cannot remove an employee just simply without giving 1 month notice, and there is a lot of protection that is available to all employee, even employee those who are working even with a single employee. But now if this amendment is going to implemented, so any factory having less than 10% they can be removed immediately without giving any warning. Just imagine what kind of we are going to create uncertainty in their job na. So once the four labor code which was passed in the parliament in 19 and 20 are implemented, worker in the smaller establishment will provided with some level of protection. Okay, so labor code, so we know that we have codified 44 labor laws into four labor code. So I think about there are 44 labor laws, central labor law, central law we have codified into four codes. Okay, four labor codes for ease of promoting. So the labor codes will provide protection to the employment in case of wages, but there is no safeguard for worker at the small establishment who are fired illegally. That means they can be fired at the whims and fancies of the owners. Na? The concurrently, so government is also planning to amend the Industrial Dispute Act. So Industrial Dispute Act, so that what is the Industrial Dispute Act? I'm just explaining in brief. So if any establishment having more than 100 employee, if they want to retrench, that means you can remove the employee, so they need to take permission from the central government. But Delhi government want to increase their number to 300. That means up to 300 employee now they can remove without approval of the government. So that means it is quite easy for the industry to hire and fire. So government is planning to amend the Industrial Dispute Act, which apply to the commercial unit across the country, as labor is part of the concurrent list. Always remember, labor is part of the concurrent list. Currently, the act provide protections to the worker in event of retrenchment, means removal and closure of farm employing 100 workers or more, as prior permission is required from the government or notice to be given for such such action. That means you need the permission of currently you need, if you have more than 100 employee, you need government permission for removal of that employee. But Delhi government want to increase this to 300. That means now if you are having 299 employee, you can remove them without approval of the government. Okay, that is what demand by the industry to promote ease of doing business. As things stand out, many labor law meant to protect employee are not enforced properly. So though we are having elaborate labor law, but they are not yet protecting our worker. Okay, and now you are removing the worker from the ambit of the law itself, so worker won't be able to even fight for their right. The total number of employee in the establishment is less than 10 worker in Delhi who will be affected by these changes. So it is giving protections to if any establishment having employee more than 10. So that means those who are having less than 10, so they can be hired and fired very fast. There is lack of protection that is being applied. So next is about Mahadai Row. So dear student, you have to study about this river. So where this river is located. We are not concerned about the controversy. We are simply concerned about our requirement. So you can see Malaprabha and Mahadai, uh, Kalsa, Banduri. So just remember this location, identify this location in the map. So that is what very much important for your examination. So next is return of the native. So return of the native. So already I think we have seen. So there is a tribes. So there is a tribes. They have been both are from the Kodarbi tribe. So it tribes in Kodarbi tribe. So they have some traditional practice, like uh, uh, that is called Chadotaru. Chadotaru means, so I'm just reading it out and I'm just explaining one by one. Both are from the Kodarbi tribe, which had been exiled in 2014 after tribes following a tradition called Chadotaru. So has forced them from their traditional lands. After over a decades of wandering and uncertainty, Kodarbi returned to their native village earlier this month following hard-earned truce between the community and crucial support from the police, so district police. That means the Chadotaru practice is such that if anyone harm a particular community, then entire community will be held responsible. So let's say let's say this is a community, this is a person, this is a person of a community. If this community is harmed by another community, then entire community will penalize and punish this community. So this is a revenge seeking. Okay, so among the Chadotaru, many tribes group ancestor village more than just place to uh, more than place to a central passage, like, so not important much. So what is most important is tradition of justice. So back in 2014, nearly 300 people from the 29 Kadarbi families flee their home in Mata Pipodaru in the dead night. So why they have fled? Because Chadotaru is a tribal tradition. Okay, it's an informal justice that seeks to carry out the weight of vengeance. That means they are trying to take revenge, often targeting entire family or community when one of their member is accused of grave offenses such as murder, sexual assault, or extramarital affairs. So because of the revenge seeking, so there is a conflict and classes among the tribals. So at the end they have to shift. So what is important for us, you just need to remember what is the Chado Taru and the tribes. Okay, and this tribe, this is more than important for our examinations. So next is the Chandrababu Naidu invite foreign firm to invest in the port and renewable energy. So in a major step towards deepening the international partnership and boosting investment to the Andhra Pradesh. So discussion with the central to transformative opportunity across the sectors such as defense, electronics and aerospace, green energy and quantum technology. So dear student, you need to know that the Andhra Pradesh, sorry, the Hyderabad. So the quantum computers. So next is the sorry, the Andhra Pradesh was rapidly emerging as a premier investment destination. So Andhra Pradesh is emerging a premier destination backed by forward-looking policy and sector-specific initiative. He highlighted that state was implementing a range of investor-friendly reform aimed at attracting company from Singapore and beyond. So what Andhra Pradesh is doing recently? So referring to the past collaboration on the Amravati. So Amravati is the capital of the Andhra Pradesh capital city project. So he is pitching Andhra Pradesh goal to generate 160 gigawatt of green energy. That means he's pitching for Andhra Pradesh to be emerged as a region of 160 gigawatt of green energy. Reveal that green hydrogen project is also going to implement. And India's first quantum valley, it is Amravati under the Indian quantum mission. So he is planning to establish Amravati as a Indian quantum mission or quantum cities. Okay? So you know that what is quantum computer, what is quantum technology. So he's planning to establish this as a quantum cities. So next, dear student, if you want to join our Dronacharya year-long mentorship program, you can scan this QR code and you will get a quality guidance by those who have have a lot of experience in the UPSC. So next, Rajasthan government to demolish unsafe school buildings. So recently we have seen a accident happen in the Rajasthan, where dilapidated building is collapsed. So because of that, 6 to 7 children are died. So after the government of Rajasthan, they are in a high alert. So 2 days after the portion of the uh, Piplodi government school in Rajasthan collapsed, killing 7 children. So state government announced a series of urgent measures, including closure and demolition of unsafe school building, GIS mapping. So all this action they have taken. So why it is important for us? It is very much important for our case study. So they can ask about a case study on this. So you need to know, or if there is a situation problem or something, so what kind of step you have to take. So they can ask, let's say you are the DM of a area, so in that area there is a severe cracks happen in the building and later on it is collapsed. So because of that, let's say 10-20 students are died. So what kind of step will take, or what are the ethical issues? So they can ask like that and you have to answer it. So Congress and BJP engage war of word in Telangana over shortage of urea for farming. Here political news is not important. What is important? Shortage of urea for farming. We are not concerned about what is political controversy going on. So you just know that urea we are facing shortage. That is the reason it is quite in news. So activists demand Devdasi survey in Karnataka without condition of age limit. So Devdasi, I think you know the lady who have been donated or dedicated their life for the dancing or for the temple and dancing in the temple. So it's a century-old practice of dedication of women to the temples as a Devdasi has been banned state since 1982 when Karnataka Devdasi Prohibition Declaration Act was enacted. Subsequently, government constitution survey to find that there are 20,000 when 20,000 and 14 Devdasi respectively were identified. So we need to identify those who have Devdasi and we need to rehabilitate them so that they will not then there will be not any kind of problem they are going to face. So next is a deep brain stimulation, so nudging neuron. So what is that? So deep brain stimulation is a medical technique where doctor implant electrode deep inside the brain. That means there will be a electrode deep inside the brain and this electrode will provide a electrical signal. So because of that, when your brain is not functioning properly, whenever electrical signal is given, it will be start functioning. So deep inside the specific area of the brain to treat certain disorder. So these electrodes are connected by a wire to a small device similar to the heart pacemaker. So there is a heart pacemaker that is being used. So which is usually placed under the skin in the upper chest. This device sends controlled mild electrical impulse to target brain region, helping adjust the abnormal brain activity and chemical imbalance. So deep brain stimulation is a most commonly used movement disorder for Parkinson disease. So they can ask about deep brain stimulation is applicable for Parkinson disease, then essential tremor. So dementia and other symptom, it is very much applicable. Okay? So I think already it is being used by 1.6 people worldwide. So you can see the penguin. These are the penguins. So next is a new microscope reveal the molecular jolting faster than ever before. Okay. So the conventional microscope are invasive. That means they need to be enter and have limited field view. The other microscopes still can't distinguish individual molecule which are around the length of an Armstrong in size. A team from the Caltech now found a way directly detect the molecule by observing. These are not the very technical terms, not much important for us. Something important, that is Brownian motion, is a random jittering of small particle in a fluid caused because they are constantly colliding with nuclear around them. So California Institute of Technology have developed a breakthrough imaging technique enable the real time filming of the molecular motion. Okay? So this Brownian motion is given by Einstein. So here you can see the Albert Einstein explained the Brownian motion in one of the paper published uh, in his paper. So Brownian motion, what is Brownian motion? It is something related to vibration and the particles. So that is what more essential. These are very fundamental science. So no need, it is not much important for us to go in depth. So next is the world urgently needs a global approach on AI regulation, insist UN top technological chief. So we are seeing that AI has been developing very rapidly, and because of that, it is going to replacing job. It is going to larger implication, polity, economy everywhere. So world urgently need to find a global approach on regulating artificial intelligence. United Nations top tech chief said this week, warning that fragmentation could defend the risk and inequality over the risk pose. So concern amount over the risk posed by the fast moving technology, including fear of mass jobless, spread of deep fake misinformation society. So all these things are very much dangerous. So we need to tackle. So there is an urgency. There is an urgency to try to get right framework in place. So here recently we have also seen that Donald Trump remove all the regulation on the AI so that USA can be more USA is front runner in AI development. But when there is a race in AI, so that might bridge humanity and develop some unnecessary thing which is very harmful also. Na? So next important news is about against the climate crisis. So, so far we have seen in India so many disasters happening, and the traditional insurance policy that we need are not working. As the extreme events became more frequent and harder to predict, conventional insurance model need a fundamental different approach that is called parametric insurance. So there can be a very good question. So parametric insurance recently seen in news related to what? So parametric insurance means whenever some disaster or climate change events they breach certain parameter, then only individual can get this insurance money. For example, if earthquake, let's say there is a 8 magnitude earthquake, if the earthquake magnitude is more than 8, then automatically you can get the insurance amount. If cyclone wind speed is more than 200 km per hour, then you'll get the insurance. So this is what called parametric insurance. So just read it, very good article. So this can be a very good question. So in a span of few days, Himachal Pradesh was battered by 20 flash floods, series of landslides and cloudburst events that upend daily life and damage the critical infrastructure in the streets. So it is not only about the Himachal Pradesh. If you look into India, all over we are facing this kind of problem. These tons, the return period for the such catastrophic weather event is shortening and marking more frequent. That means with climate change, we are seeing this catastrophic events are is very fast. So India record around 764 natural disasters since 1990, and more of them are post 2000. That means recently majority of the disaster are happening, and from 2019 to 23 we are facing loss of 56 billion. You can imagine what. So these extreme events are more frequent, so we need to find something so that we can pay. So one such instances is parametric insurance. So offer an alternative to build speed and clarity. So it will help to provide very much clarity whenever you are going to give the insurance, or whenever you can reject the insurance, because the moment the climate parameter or the disaster cross a limit, will automatically paid to the customer. Na? So here you can see. So yes. So parametric insurance offer an alternative to build speed and clarity. It pay out the moment a predefined threshold is breached. The moment it cross a limit, they will automatically pay out. So rainfall cross a certain marks, seismic activity above a certain magnitude, wind speed crossing a destructive limits, payout are trigger automatically based on, ठीक है, independently verify data given within hours. So that means we will verify the data from, you know, space based application or other application. If the magnitude of this disaster is more, automatically they will pay it. So at core, parametric insurance is simply you know, proposition payout when pre-agreed index threshold is breached. So just remember this word, it is very important. Already the, you can see about Jharkhand story also. Yes. So here it is given an example. A microfinance institution in Jharkhand, for instance, could structure a parametric policy that automatically cover the loan repayment for a small farmer if rainfall during the sowing season fall below 300 mm and temperature 40 degrees Celsius. Let's say this is the Jharkhand, and the farmer are here. The farmer group have taken the parametric insurance. That means, and they have taken the loan from the bank. If the rainfall is less than 300 cm and temperature is more than 40 degrees Celsius, so that means there is a drought. So in that case, the insurance company pay the loan amount to the banks. There will be no burden on the farmer. Just remember this parametric insurance, so there can be a good question in your examination. So next is Donald Trump confirmed deal with the European Union and set 15% export tariff. So the US President Donald Trump and US European Union chief Ursula von Sunday announced that they had reached a deal to end the transatlantic tariff standoff and about full-blown trade war. So they have agreed to reduce the tariff to 15% from present 30%. So next important news, we have to acknowledge that Mughal period saw the violence. So you know, recently we are seeing that our history book, the history book being redesigned. So on that backdrop, there are a few questions. So National Council of Education, that is NCERT, spoke about, you know, process of redesigning new social science book from middle school and controversy surrounding portraying of the Mughal and colonial era in a different way. So debate has arisen about the portrait of Mughal in the new class 8 textbook and their ruling being called as blend of both brutality and tolerance. Elaboration on the attempt to refrain the portrait of Delhi Sultanate and Mughal in the new textbook. So this is a period which see violence. Definitely in the Mughal period we have seen a lot of violence, and we have all been portrayed mild about it. And Muslim texts like, you know, Babarnama, Akbarnama, there is no doubt these conquests were very violent in initial stage. These violent were not limited to the India, even Turkey, Mughals, so Afghan power, they were involved in the Central Asia as well. So I think just read it, you will understand better. So like, you know, we have rewriting the history, and there is some changes, so that is being criticized because, you know, they are think that you know, some section of society they think that they have been portraying the Mughal like, you know, in a very violent way. And second, there is omission of two important personality from the modern history. They are Hyder Ali and Tipu Sultan from the history, and addition of Maratha. The next is sector is emerging. Textile sector is emerging strength of the country. This is what said by the Narendra Modi ji. So Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji Sunday, textile sector was expression of India's cultural diversity. Now more than 3,000 active startups and driving force behind rapid growth women from villager to design. So in the textile sector. So the launch of Swadeshi movement in 1905. So they have given impetus for self-reliance in Khadi gave strength to the freedom movements. Okay. So about 650 tribal women from the Moirvanj revived the Santali sari. So there is a very good sari that is being designed in the Santal group. So referring to the group captain Subhanshu Suklaji. So space mission, okay. And recently we have seen increasing number of startups 50 to 200 in space sector. So this is what Prime Minister discussed in the Man Ki Baat. So Prime Minister also spoke of, you know, recently addition of 12 Maratha fort in UNESCO World Heritage Site. So recently 12 fort from the Maratha added to the UNESCO World Heritage Site. Paying homage to the Khudiram Bose, so 18-year-old freedom fighter who have been hanged on 11th August, Muzaffar, Bihar. Modi ji said that inside the jail, British officers were preparing for hang the young. There is no fear on the face of the youth, rather it is full of pride. So next, it is Modi ji also talking about recently bird census being conducted in Kaziranga National Parks. 40 species were identified among the sound recording device and AI. So you have to study about here the Kaziranga National Parks. It is very important, and the fort, 12 fort of that is being added, Maratha Fort added into UNESCO World Heritage Site. And you can also talk about, you can also study about, Chandrayaan mission. Then sports start off. So the space start off is increasing. You need to know this information. So next is the National Medical Commission bar the use of live surgery broadcast for promotional gain. So just this is more than important. No need to go in detail because this is not important much for our examination. So TCS to lay off 12,000 employee this year, mid senior level staff to be hit. So recently we are seeing that the AI is real, and by using AI you can design the coding, you can design a lot of things. So because of that, TCS is trying to remove the 12,000 employee, and most of them are mid senior level staffs. Okay, so you can see how AI is impacting the job. So this is a very good example. The next is interstate synthetic drug syndicate busted and three held. So recently we have found a syndicate between Rajasthan, they operating in Rajasthan and Maharashtra. They manufacture the drug synthetic in a lab by mixing some chemicals. So the chemicals like they are found like chloroform, ammonium chloride, and polyphenol. So these are used for manufacturing of the synthetic drug. Why it is important? It is very much important for rising drug abuse in India. So many youth are currently addicted to drugs. So because of that, their health is also impacted. Now, so this is the reason. That is the reason it is very much important. So External Affairs Ministry nearly lost all plot during Indus Water Treaty talk. So here you have to know about in the political controversy in detail is not important. What is important for us is Indus Water Treaty. So we have signed Indus Water Treaty with Pakistan. It is a World Bank mediated treaty. So according to that treaty, the Western River, that is Indus, Jhelum, Chenab, is exclusively given to the Pakistan, but India can use a runoff river project. It can use in a non-consumption purpose. It can also use 20% of the water of this Indus, Jhelum, Chenab. Then next जो Eastern River है, Ravi, Bias, Satluj, India is having exclusive right to use 100% of its water. So this is what the part of the Indus Water Treaty. Okay, and under this treaty, so in case of any dispute, so there is a mechanism for dismissal of the dispute. So India has been constructing so many project on this river. So because of that, so this news is quite in that light. Okay, so no need to go all this controversy. This is more than enough. So CERT fixes the website flaw that exposed the sensitive data of voluntary organ donor. So recently there is a security flaw or security breach in the AIMS website. So there are report of a critical vulnerability in organ retrieve bank organization website of All India AIMS in Delhi. So that exposed the sensitive data of voluntary organ donor across India along with their identity, health profile, and contact details was detected and resolved thanks to the independent security researcher who flag off. Just imagine if the patient information or information of organ donors are exposed to the everyone, so they are targeted by the cyber crime na. So the ORBO nodal facility for cadaver organs and tissue donation related to activity in AIMS. So data leak provided unrestricted access to the complete list of tissue donors and within AIM. So this information including full name, residential address, date of birth, blood group, mobile number. That means all these people sensitive information have been published in online. So this is a clear violation of Digital Personal Data Protection Act. So this is a clear violation of Digital Personal Data Protection Act, and it's a clear indication to the government department. They have to act very fast to prevent such breach in future. So next one is CAPF troops with severe injury go to get full benefits. So CAPF troops with severe injury to get full benefits. So personnel who are undergoing amputation shall remain in service. The center will ensure that best medical facility for limb replacement, surgery, and injury. So this is what said by the Union Home Secretary. So that means CAPF person who are suffering severe injury during their duty, they should not be government should not resign, suspend them, or you can say terminate from this service. Rather, they will serve throughout their life. So Central Armed Police Force personnel who get severely injured during operation have to undergo amputation will allow to continue in service till retirement, all with all benefit. That is what given. So this is a boost moral of our the Central Armed Police Forces. Okay, so So government will ensure best medical facility and technology available world for limb replacement surgery. Okay, for our Jawans. So recently there is a 20 days operation that is being going on named as Operation Black Forest. So Operation Black Forest is carried out in the Karegutta Hills that is located in Chhattisgarh and Telangana border. Karegutta Hills, that is Operation Black Forest. So you need to know about what is the objective of Operation Black Forest. So next is CAPF Director General also asked to submit a report. So recently we are also seeing large number of women are also participating in the Central Armed Police Force. Has been asked to submit the report to the facility required for the Jawans, particularly women. Home Ministry ensure the best. So CAPF playing the key role in ending the left-wing extremism before the March 2026. This is what our targets set by the our Ministry of Home Affairs. So next, there was a security breach. There is a security breach crypto exchange coin DCX. So you need to just know this much. So we are investing so much of money in the cryptocurrency. Just a security breach or any cyber attack can wipe out entire saving of a life. So while no doubt we need to put everything, use digital technology, but at the same time we need to ensure protection of the cyber security as well. So how India is preparing against glacial lake outburst. So what is glacial lake outburst? So let's say this is a glacier. So if it is melting, if glacier, let's say glacier is melting, so it is leaving behind, there is a dam that is being formed by the loose soil. So in case of bridge, so entire water will fall from a very high height and it will be cause flash flood. So that is what called glacial lake outburst. So recently we have seen Nepal experience catastrophic glacial lake outburst events which caused flash flood along the lower reach from Tibet to Nepal, washing away China-built friendship bridge. The bridge has serviced 10-year-old, inland container port. So this is what happening. Like recent time we are seeing so many events where the glacial lake outburst. There is a burst that led to the flash flood. Even during the Uttarakhand, recently even in Sikkim, we have seen such instances. So this is very much frequent occurring. You can see different part of it. So what is the nature of glacial lake outburst risk for India? As for Indian remote sensing center, so in Himalayan region, home to the 11 river basin. It is home to the 11 river basin and 28 glacial lakes. So these are two prominent type of glacier found. One is first one super glacial, that means big in size. Another is small in size. So in case of, and second are moraine dam lake formed by the meltwater at the toes or glacier dam. So that means like that all this glacier here the water and this is dammed by the loose soil. So in case of burst, so water will flow down. Okay, just I think just read it out, you'll understand. It's a very just read it, you'll understand so how it is going to impact. So next important news is Bihar migrant lack the special intensive revision data. So the document. So recently there is a study being conducted by an NGO named Swan. So they have found that the migrant worker, they've contacted the migrant worker and they found that most of the migrant worker either they are not aware of the document needed. If they are aware, they don't have the document. So that is the sorry state of affairs. So no doubt it is the responsibility and it is the duty of the election commissions to review or you can say the verify the electoral roll. At the same time, they need to be very cautious. They need to be consider the ground reality. When people are not educated, they don't have any identity proof, and it is the failure of the state to provide the identity proof. The burden should not be proved on the people. Rather, it is the burden should be divided equally. So need for doctor led innovation. So that means doctor basically role is to treat the patient, but nowadays doctor are so much overburdened that they don't have find any time to do some innovation, because doctor they are treating with the patient, so they are interfacing with the patient, they know the problem, what kind of problem our patient are facing. So that is the reason they can be an innovator, they can design new product, they can design new machine, they can design new vaccine, new medicine, so that is going to treat the patient. So that means we need to promote doctor led startup, so that can be better equipped or designed to treat the patient care. That is the reason in our medical courses we need to promote entrepreneurship among the doctors, because doctor they are knowing the ground reality, they know what are the problem the people are facing, they know what kind of work what kind of technology or medicine or vaccine that is going to work. So if doctor involved in the innovation, so that is going to change the landscape of the treatment na? So not the way criminalizing adolescent sex will undermine the aim of the POCSO Act. So POCSO Act, that is Prevention of Child from Sexual Offense Act, being enacted in 2012. So main objective of this act is to prevent the children from sexual abuse. So it is a very gender neutral law. Like child can be both male and female, and those who involved in sexual act, it can also be male and female law. It is very stringent law. Anyone involved in child sex abuse, so very stringent punishment is also given. But problem is that recently our kids are exposed to the social media and pornographic content, so they are maturing very fast. So if there is a consensual sexual relationship between 16 to 18, so it is also penalizing them. So it can family can use this as a weapon to penalize their kids. So we need to just give an exceptions to this POCSO Act. Its main intention is to protect the sexual abuse, but it should be given an exception, so that kids age from 16 to 18, so they need to be protected rather than punishing. So that is what the objective. Just read it, you'll understand. So next is about the state of stateless. So recently we have seen Israel-Palestine conflicting going on, and after the Hamas, they attacked the Israel and they kidnapped so many people. So Israel launched an operations to destroy Hamas and release all these those who have taken hostage. So after that, it is killing so many people. It is making entire the Gaza, you can say, ruin. So many people are suffering hunger, malnutrition. So many children are dying. So because of that, there is a growing demand among all over the European countries in support of Palestinian state. India is already supporting the Palestinian state. Out of 193 country, 147 states or country are supporting in favor of establishment of Palestinian state. Okay. So understanding Taliban, Russia's Taliban gauntlet. So recently Russian government, they recognize the Taliban. So I don't think it is much important for our examination. Dekho, if I don't think it is much important, so you can skip it. So next is clearing the air of citizenship in Bihar role revision. So this is very good article. So this article is talking about it is the fundamental right of, you can say, it is a fundamental that you can just see that in India only the citizen can vote, and you can be a contest, you can contest the election if you are the citizen of India. But at the same time, it is the constitutional responsibility of the Election Commission of India to ensure those who are citizen of India, they should only enroll, and those who are not the citizen of India, they can remove. So you can see about article 324 that provides superintendent direction control of preparation of electoral roll to the Election Commission of India. 226 is talking about elections to the assembly and parliament on the basis of universal adult franchise. It also provides disqualification those who are not the citizen of India. That means if you are not a citizen of India, their name should not be on the electoral roll. Then if you look into the Representation of People Act and other acts, so it is clear indications that it is giving power to the Election Commission of India for conduction and verification and purification of electoral roll, so that those who are eligible voter, they should be added, those who are ineligible, they need to be excluded. Okay. So that is what this article is talking about. No doubt everyone is saying, and this also saying that Aadhaar card, why the Election Commission exclude the Aadhaar card, because Aadhaar card itself saying that Aadhaar is not a proof of resident. Aadhaar is not a proof of citizen, it is a proof of resident. Even those who are not from India, those who are not the citizen of India, they can have Aadhaar card. This is what clearly stated in the Aadhaar Act. So that is the reason this article is justifying the action of taken by the Election Commission of India. So just read it, you will understand. Okay. Dear student, this is all about the 28th July newspaper analysis. So dear student, please like, subscribe and comment this video if you like this, and please share this video with your friend. If you have any suggestion, please write in the comment box. Your comment is always welcome. Okay, chaliye, bye bye, take care, have a good day. Tomorrow we'll meet.